Welcome to my channel, The Vinyl Connoisseur, hosted by yours truly. In this video, I will be discussing Kendrick Lamar's Mr. Morale album, if he healed or not, a little bit of the rap beef, and did Kendrick win the battle but lose the war. Also, I'll be giving my overall opinions. A little bit about Kendrick. First of all, he is a Compton-born rapper, overall lyricist. He's personally my favorite rapper of this generation, and is considered to be more of a conscious rapper compared to like mumble rap that you hear nowadays. So that's why he's like my favorite of this generation. He's had many classic albums like Good Kid, Mad City, Damn, but I'm going to be discussing Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers and how it played a pivotal role in the discussion of Kendrick's healing and his response in the rap beef. I'm going to be honest, I did not listen to the album before the beef. I'm not gonna lie, I maybe heard a song or two, but when I did sit down and listen, it blew me away. My personal favorite songs from the album are Father Time, Mother I Sober, Auntie's Diaries, and The Heart Part 5. When I hear each of those songs, the word introspective comes to mind. Like when I think of Kendrick, someone who is introspective spends considerable time examining his own thoughts and feelings. The song Father Time, where Kendrick is talking about his childhood and how his father always, made him feel like he had to be tough and couldn't, like really express his emotions. He couldn't be soft. And he talks about just having daddy issues, even as a boy, a man, and how, him not really being able to trust people or being taught not to trust, how that later affected his relationships, which I can see, like, if you're taught not to trust people and you get into a relationship and you told like don't trust her, just trust your mama and them. So I understand that, and how how that could have a negative effect on his relationships even as a child, but also as an adult, as a grown man. From the song Mother I Sober, where he's fighting generational curses, that was a deep song. Like, that's the song that made me cry. I'm not gonna lie, that song did make me cry because of how deep and spiritual it is. It's just very touching, and I feel like I can relate to that. I feel like most people could, like, that have generational curses or just whatever demons they're fighting, whatever they're going through, that they seen their parents, grandparents, and they want to be like the ones to change, or you want your kids to be the one to have a better life, a better way of life, not just materialistic, but just, traumas, heal from that. So in the song Father Time, towards the ending, Kendrick has a line that says, and I quote, "When Kanye got back with Drake, I was slightly confused. Guess I'm not mature as I think. Got some healing to do." Ladies and gentlemen, I can in fact confirm that he did not heal. The album was about healing, confronting childhood traumas, and even him being aware enough to know where these traumas stem from. Like, that's very deep and personal. At that time, I felt like a healed Kendrick would have taken the J. Cole route and just found peace. Because I know in one of his Kendrick's song, he mentioned that, like, how his lawyer or somebody had the peace that he hopes to one day achieve. So back to J. Cole, I know you've seen the memes about, like, in the beginning it was like J. Cole won because he's not in the beef. Like, that's how you win. He's peaceful, living his life, probably riding his bike somewhere. Like, that's peace. That's winning in life. Throughout the beef, I was debating, like, damn, after listening to the album, I was like, did Kendrick really win? Because, low-key J. Cole found peace, and Kendrick and his wife and his kids had to be kind of disrupted with Drake saying, like, making all these allegations, like the baby's not his. And I feel like no family wants to hear that. And just, even if it's not true, but it's like a disruption to the flow of your family. In the beginning, those were my only thoughts, questioning, like, damn, did Kendrick really win? Like, if he won the battle, but did he win the war? Because like battle, like, lyrically, he dusted Drake. Like, I'm a hip-hop fan. Like, lyrically, it's no comparison. Dusted him. But I was like, did he lose the war? On the simple fact of, was it really worth it for Kendrick to be involved in this beef and have your family have to hear this stuff, But Drake's final response was terrible. Don't get me wrong, to me personally, all of his response was terrible. Like, even Push-Ups was like a kiddie, like, wow, you got a song with the Swifties. Taylor Swift is one of the biggest artists in the world. Having a song with Taylor Swift is not a diss Drake. I felt like Drake didn't grow up culturally black, because, like, I'm from South Central, and in middle school, in recess and lunch, we had roasting sessions where we talk about your mama, your hair was no limits. Somebody's shoe size is like amid this. Talk about how Kendrick dances. Like, you can't dance your like that looks weird. Like, something. Not about him having small feet. That's a baby diss, in my opinion. In Drake's final response, I'm kind of dissect a little. It was terrible, but his whole thing was, oh, I get it. You're obsessed with me being a pedo because you were touched as a child. He's referring to Mother I Sober, but in the song, Kendrick says that he was not touched by his uncle, but his mom didn't believe him because of her own experience with being assaulted as a child, and how that her own personal stuff didn't make her believe her son. So it was like, Drake, you didn't listen to the song, first of all. Second of all, that was like I said, spiritual song about rebuking curses that was set on his family. Like, it was a spiritual song. There was no way to make fun of that. The same way he made fun of Auntie Diaries, like, your auntie is a man now. I'm like, she's a dyke. Yeah, she's a man of the house. She literally said that in the song. Like, do you not understand what a dyke is, Drake? Like, that's not an insult in any way, shape, way, or form. Like, it just shows how out of touch with reality he is. Or not even, I think he got so big to where he can't relate to the people. And even disclaimed the pedo rumors, which Zach Fox did say, do not respond, because how are you going to say I'm not a pedo? Like, you can't, I'm not a pedo. Like, it's no way for you to respond. He said that, like, in a tweet. It was a goated tweet, because he was like, what are you going to say? Nuh-uh? Like, yeah, what are you going to say? Like, but for him to say, no, trust me, I'd be arrested. What? This like Diddy, and trust me, I'm way too famous for that. Again, this one, like all these people who are walking free, it was just a bad take. Shows how unrelatable he is to the people. Also, in the way Kendrick responded to his disses, one word changed the whole, like, made the bar so much harder. For instance, he didn't say, when you look in the mirror, I see two bad bitches. He said, I believe when you look in the mirror, you see two bad bitches. That's on a whole another mental level of, that's how he views himself. Like, that made it so much harder. That line was crazy. Also, when he said, not like us, like the whole slave line, which also again shows how unrelatable Drake is, because you're trying to rap like you're trying to free the slaves is not a diss, Derek. What do you but he said he calling us some slave, not me. He's calling us, black culture, the culture. He's calling us, the community, us as a whole. He's calling us a slave. How they profit off of us, that's the same thing he's doing by switching me to us as a whole. That took it to a whole nother level. The absolute turning point of the beef was when Kendrick Lamar dropped the Not Like Us video, specifically when he showed his family, because it clearly showed he won. Like, he won. He has a beautiful family. That's what made him win overall to me, versus Drake, who is Drake. He's just Drake. So no, Kendrick isn't fully healed from his childhood traumas, but who really is? At the end of the day, he has his wife and his kids, and he's trying to do better, which is more than most people. He talks about therapy in the album, even includes Eckhart Tolle, who's a spiritual advisor. So if anything, he gave us something we can all relate to, with the hopes of healing, while also being able to destroy somebody lyrically who goes against everything he stands for.
Take heat, fuck these niggas up.